Alright, what's going on guys, it's Calvin Green, and today I'm bringing you the long-awaited scope effect tutorial. So what I'm going to be showing you is a little similar effect to the beginning of this free intro. I'll link this on my channel if you guys want to see it. It's a free intro, go download it, use it, whatever. But this is the scope effect right at the beginning here. So yeah, what we're going to be using is just like this part here. I'm basically going to recreate this effect where it zooms in and then zooms out with like the sniper scope. And it goes kind of like into, nice transition into the death and into the sniper. I don't know. I think it's a cool effect and a lot of people have been asking me how to do it. It's really easy, really nice. I'm just going to give you like a clean way to do it, quick and easy. And then you can do some little changes based on what you like and what you don't like. So yeah. Let's just jump right into it, I guess. We'll jump into After Effects. So here I have the cinematic and the sniper reticle. That's really all you guys are going to need for this effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here to the cinematic and I'm going to have my point where I want it to start. So somewhere around here. Press B and then it zooms into the guy you can see and then zooms back out to about when he starts moving away. So we'll go like here. And then we're going to trim this, and I'm just going to go and find the point where it stops moving forward and starts moving backwards, so like here. And I'm going to drop a marker. So with that, you can just press the star button on your numpad if you have one, or Shift 8. I have a different key mapped from mine, so I'm just going to use that. Put that up here, and now we have our marker. So this is where it goes from going forward to switch and going back. As you can see. Wait, maybe it's a little, off a little bit. Shit, I am off a little bit. It's like here. There. So now we have that. The only part that we're going to actually work on is the part after the marker. So we're going to drag our sniper scope in here, line it up right at the beginning here. As you can see, it looks a little weird. Like this is just a random PNG I have that I made myself. It's not very good. I might need to update that eventually. But this is essentially a heavy sniper reticle. I just like looked at the green screen and recorded it. So the first thing you're going to notice is it's not right in the center of the screen. So what you do is you can pull up your grid. I think that's the apostrophe key. It'll pull up your grid here and you can just zoom in and then click A for anchor point, and you're going to move the anchor point until you have it lined up right, and then 4.5, yeah, and then move it up just a little bit. Oops, sorry, there's a fan that's gonna come on. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. Might be kind of rough. Anyway, so now that you have it basically lined up with this crosshair, it might be a decent idea for me to save this so I don't have to do this every single time. But regardless, you guys might not be using this PNG, you might be using a different one. Anyway, now it is centered. So now what we're gonna do is go to fit up to 100%, get rid of the grid, and you can see it's not, the scope's on him, but it's not exactly where I want it. So I'm gonna start by just doing the positioning. So just press P and just make a few keyframes. So like right here, I'll just put it right at his neck, and then I'll scope, and I'll click this stopwatch to mark a keyframe on that spot, and go to the end and do about the same right on his neck, and then maybe do one in the middle here to make sure it's on his neck. It's doing a pretty good job itself. But just to be sure, a keyframe there, and another keyframe here. Yeah, see, that's pretty good as is. So now, one of the things that we're gonna want to work on is how this just kind of cuts directly in. That looks really dumb. So what I'm gonna do is fade it in a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna press T. It's gonna bring up your opacity. So you're gonna click the stopwatch and make 100% opacity keyframe. Drag that a little bit to the right, maybe 10 frames or so, and then mark it down to 0 over here. And then you can see as it comes in, it'll just kind of fade in all nice like, and yeah, that looks good. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is make it a little bit bigger at the start. So you can notice in mine, it starts out really big and then gets smaller as it backs up. So you press scale, turn it up to like 300 or something like that, drop keyframe, go to the end, go back down to 100, and then you can see that we'll have a nice little zooming out effect on this, which looks all right, but it's not the best. We're gonna work on that a little bit more in a second. Then the next thing you guys will notice is that I have a little bit of rotation. So the scope spins. I think that looks good. You don't need it to do that, but that's just kind of the way I like it. So I'm gonna have 0 be where it ends at because I want it to end looking straight. And we'll just turn it up to like 200 or something like that, somewhere in that range. Let's go like 213. So now we have our cinematic. It goes in, and then zooms out and starts to spin. That looks pretty good, but the only thing is it's not really snappy. Like when you sync it up, it's just going to be nice uniform like spinning, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it starts out pretty quick, and if you want, I think you can do that I like to do is I open up the rotation and the scale, and I click both of them, go to the graph editor, and then I stretch them a little bit. So for the, I'll just do one first actually. So we'll just do the scale. The way I want the scale to go is I want it to stay big for a long time, and then right at the end, I want it to kind of shrink down. So what I'm going to do is just drag this handle up here. So you can see for this time it's going to be big, 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 and it's still pretty big towards the end, and then it shrinks down right at the end. So for the last couple frames, maybe I can move this down a little bit. But yeah, then it shrinks down quickly at the end. And I think that looks pretty good in when it's in final motion. And then the same thing, I'm going to do that with the rotation. So I'm going to have it start out really slowly spinning, not making a big amount of change, and then it's going to spin a good amount right at the end as it snaps into its final form, I guess. So yeah, that's usually what I do. And then the next thing you're going to do is go back into your edit wherever you have it synced up. Okay, so now we have this little area that we're going to put it in. So you want to leave a decent amount of space. Personally, I usually just have it about 2 sync points, something like that. But this is kind of an intro cinematic, so there's no real defined beats here. So it just goes right until the end here. So anyway, I put a little zoom here, a little zoom transition from this clip into the scope effect, just because I thought that would look nice. So I'm going to drag the composition in. We're going to press Ctrl-Alt-T, and then that's just going to allow for time remapping on our cinematic and our effect and everything. And we're just going to keep moving it until it's down at the right size that we want it to be. So let's line it up with the 2 spots where it starts and ends. You can see it goes from here, forward to here, and then just right back out. So there's a couple ways you can do it, but typically what I would just do is go to your time remapping, click here, and just a basic easy way is to just move the handle up, move the handle down, so it's just kind of like an S shape, which means it'll start out really fast, slow down in the middle, and then as it backs up, it'll start to speed up again. So maybe even a little extra speed on the end, a little less on the beginning, something like that. And you just want to mess around with it, get what's right for you. I usually scale up the cinematics, so like go to like 113 or something. That way we can add a little bit of rotation. Okay, so yeah, we can add a little rotation. Maybe go 3 degrees on this side, keyframe that, and then go down to like -6 or something. It's a random number. You can see when it's down at -6. Actually, I don't really have the issue. It's scaled in pretty well. Oh wait, is it? Yeah, no. So I have the issue. So there's these like little black bars here. Really easy to fix. You just want to go and get an effect called motion tile. So it's just a default effect. Everyone has it in After Effects. Drag that onto your clip here. Click mirror edges and then turn up the output width to like 300. And now it's not a perfect solution, but it does kind of fill in the edges. If you scope out, zoom out, it just kind of mirrors everything, so that when you're just a little bit of edges, you can't really tell the difference that much. So yeah, I find that kind of convenient. That's what I like to do. I'm sure you could just scale it up even more so you don't have those edges, but yeah, that's just what I like to do. So now we're gonna preview it and see what it looks like. So yeah, that looks pretty good. It's really nice to have this effect on like a big impact, like the start of a song or the start of something, like the drop, like anywhere where there's a lot of impact, this effect really helps with that. Obviously you can mess with the values a little bit. This is just a nice, quick, easy way to do it. This is what I do if I just need a cool effect for a drop, something like that. Like I said, it's a really easy effect, as you guys I'm sure saw. Really easy, really nice to use, and yeah, that's about it. So if you guys want, I'm gonna link the PNG that I use in the description so you can download it and use it in your own edits, use it to do this effect. And yeah, maybe I'll even show a few other, or I'll show. Maybe I'll get Hayden to show a few other different uses of this effect, so I'll send him some stuff. So you guys can see the different ways that you can use it, basically. Blood falling from my fingertips, no towel, I'ma let it rush. But yeah, this is basically what I do every single time. It's really, really easy. Such an easy effect, and I get so many questions about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you guys have more questions, maybe you want a transition tutorial next, maybe you want some other tutorial, be sure to leave that in the comments below, and I will definitely get to every single one of them, the highest rated ones first. So if you see an idea you like, leave a thumbs up. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I'll see you in the next one, I guess. Peace.